It's Car Con Carne. Let's eat in the car. It's Car Con Carne. And now here's the star of our show, James Van Alstyne.
And here we are. It's Car Con Carne in quarantine, episode number 426. And Car Con Carne tonight, sponsored by C&H Financial Services. As business owners continue to adjust to this new normal brought on by the coronavirus, C&H Financial Services is here to help. They offer a variety of products that range from traditional merchant accounts to a zero-cost payment processing solution, which eliminates the expense associated with accepting Visa, MasterCard, Discover, and American Express as a form of customer payment. C&H Financial Services eTab solutions, easy to set up for your business for online ordering and curbside pickup. They also offer cost-effective commercial lending programs that can help get your business the money it needs to make it through these unprecedented dystopian times. To learn more, contact C&H Financial Services at 855-600-2437 or go to chfs.us. A quick programming note. Last week, I had a postponement, a cancellation of sorts. Chris Franz of Talking Heads and Tom Tom Club was on the East Coast when that horrible storm hit. He's been without power until today. Chris Franz from Talking Heads will be my guest on Thursday. Then on Friday, he is a Stanley Cup winner. He's a former Chicago Blackhawk, Brent Sopel, returning to the show. So big stuff, fun stuff coming this week. Nothing near as fun as what we're about to experience, though, God bless it. Tonight, I'm joined by the Runaround, all of them. Welcome, gentlemen. Let's just start with let's start with Jason's scenario. Jason really, he is literal. He wants to take things as seriously as possible. The podcast is called Car Con Carne. It's been without a car since the pandemic hit. You brought a car back to the podcast. You put it on yourself to really make the concept work. Thank you for that. I love your ride.
I brought the hog too. I brought the hog just in case, keep it cool and stuff.
that is a sweet ride. So is that your practice space that you're in too?
yeah. Times are tough. We got to rent out our practice space to garages and stuff. So yeah. This is our usual rehearsal space. Yep.
You invite the neighborhood kids to play and
charge them $5 an hour to keep their cars here. Yeah.
Because of the pandemic, I haven't really had a chance to dress up and look nice. That all changes tonight. I really.
Hey, it's beautiful.
I wanted to make the smart apparel choice, and I did tonight. It's a handsome look on anyone, really. I got this. This was your Bandcamp bundle. You did this with the CD and the digital version of the EP.
We released an EP during quarantine, so we had to find some ways to get our stuff out there, right?
But not even. You released the EP just at the precipice as things were about to just slide downhill.
A week before.
Yeah, I mean, just as the city and state were in the process of shutting everything down, you walked into March wide-eyed, optimistic. This is going to be our year. We've been away for a little bit. Everything is coming up the runaround, and then holy shit, here we are.
Well, I'll tell you, this is how crazy it was. We had a rehearsal on the Tuesday night before the show. Our CD release was that Saturday night. We didn't even talk about canceling it at that rehearsal. It didn't even come up. It was March 9th, I think, was our rehearsal. And our release was March 13th or 14th. Sorry, March 14th.
And where was the show?
At the 105. Our last few releases, we did big venues. We just want to do something local, pack it, and and just kind of make it for all ages and stuff. And which was the absolute wrong idea when you're trying to social distance, right? So, yeah.
It was like a day before or so, and we started texting each other, being like, "This might not be the best idea."
Stretch texted me or texted the whole group and was like, I hate to even say this, but do we need to consider canceling? And I think at 10 in the morning, we were all like, no. And by 3 o'clock that afternoon, we're like, yeah, we have to.
I was supposed to see a show. I think it was the 13th or 14th. It was whatever that Thursday was. I was supposed to go to Rock House in Dundee to see Alice Cooper's daughter and bass guitarist. They got a band. I'm like, I really want to go see them. I think that'll be cool. Small club show. And I'd been planning on it all week. And then all the signs were pointing toward it not being a good call, and the show was still happening. And then Thursday morning, I'm like, am I just being a dick? I'm not going to go.
We ask ourselves the same question.
Yeah. Because you're still at that point where you're like, how bad is this?
Well, yeah, we had no idea.
Yeah.
I mean, sorry, go ahead. Yeah.
No, maybe I should just I should take the cautious approach. I should take the conservative approach. I'm going to watch Netflix tonight. That's
and that's what I think the main question. I don't know who asked it, but I think it might have been Stretch again that said, Stretch is the other Jason, by the way. Everybody calls him
there.
Stretch.
It is. Okay.
I think he's the one that said, like, ultimately, if one person or gets sick at this show or something happens at this show, like, do we really want to be, the ones that kind of were responsible, so to speak, for that happening? And I think that's kind of what put us over the edge. Is like, the selfish decision would have been to pack that place and then roll the dice. And ultimately, looking back, I think we made the right decision. Although 5 months later, we'd like to get this damn thing.
I want to play, man. I want to play so bad.
I just want to play. Yeah.
Well, you've certainly been keeping busy. It's funny, when we set up this interview, I think it was you, Jason, not Jason Stretch, but Jason. I think you said, we don't have to play, do we? Not because you don't want to play, but because how many bad Zoom performances have we seen so far?
Yeah.
Since March.
Yeah.
And through no fault of the bands, this is just not a platform that lends itself to audio. They're just like, the guitars just get swallowed and washed up. There's no good way to do it.
Every little mistake shows up, and that's not good in punk rock. We err on the side of very loud, therefore you heard it wrong. It was actually the right note. You just heard it wrong. Yeah.
That's exactly it. So, but you've been keeping busy. Jason and Fabian, you did that Cranberries cover.
Yeah.
Which
Fabian did the whole thing. I just sang on it. Yeah.
Which, in your hands, it does have a punk rock feel to it. It never clicked with me in the 1990s.
Yeah, right.
It's got that energy.
I'll let Fabian speak to that because this was his baby. He was big on doing it. But yeah, go ahead, Fabian.
Oh yeah. It's just something I always wanted to do, and I don't even think I ever brought it up to the guys to really do it. But I don't know. I just always love that song so much.
So I think
it's like 2.5 minutes. It's all energy. Yeah, it's great.
I think the thing we talked about was like, it's such a great song, and we feel like they could have hit it so much harder than it was. Like, they kind of brought it back in the mix for whatever reason. So it was an easy thing for us to just be like, yo, let's just turn the guitars up and do it louder. That's pretty much all we did, was louder and with my voice as opposed to, Darlene. So, or Dolores.
Darlene.
Dolores.
Darlene.
Some other old name that's way too old for her. Yeah.
Darlene. Darlene's a waitress in Nashville. Dolores O'Riordan's the nice Irish crooner who's no longer with us, sadly.
Yeah, sadly. That's the other reason we did it, by the way.
I did not have to change the key of the song at all for Jason to sing.
So we mentioned that this EP came out when the whole world started to fall apart. We didn't say the name of it. It's Bombs Away. I hinted towards how handsome the artwork is. This really is. I love, like, I don't normally ask bands to talk about the artwork because usually bands don't create their artwork, but where did this come from? Who did this? This kicks ass.
So it wasn't the first, second, third, or fourth thing I brought to the band that came from another artist. We tend to, when there's 5 people in the band, and we are missing Mike, by the way, our drummer's not here tonight. He's teaching drum lessons. But when there's 5 of us in the band, it's hard for us to agree on stuff. And we almost went with a different option. It was from the same artist. Her name's Hannah Blue. She does stuff for like Teenage Bottle Rocket and a bunch of other cool bands and stuff. She's from Canada. I'm not exactly sure where. But when we started talking, which actually it was a recommendation from Devin Parker. He does a bunch of artwork. He does all the stuff for Punk the Verbs for us. And he didn't have time to do this because we had to get it done in like a week. But he recommended this girl, and she's amazing. Yeah, it's so easy to work with. Anybody that asked me, because we've been hit up a lot since this came out, because people feel the same way, that they love the artwork. That we don't take any credit for. We just said, hey, let's do something with somebody riding on a bomb or something. She ran with it, but yeah, she's from Canada. She's so easy to work with. Got it done in like 4 days, and I mean, yeah, she's amazing. I can't speak highly enough of her. So Hannah Blue on Facebook, BLU. If you look her up, and for anybody that's interested in getting stuff done, she's a very reasonable price, and yeah, it was all positives. So,
and you mentioned Devin, friend of the show, previous guest from Till Morning, really talented dude, just as a musician, and certainly as a graphic designer as well.
Yeah.
If people want to find Bombs Away on Bandcamp, I will say there's a little. fortune rewards the person who looks hard because it's not on your proper Bandcamp page.
Right. Yeah, we everything else is on our Bandcamp, which just makes it that much more confusing. Like every album before this, but we decided, we're working with Pro Rock Records, and they weren't around for the release yet because we actually just started working with them like about a month or two ago. But they were up for running our merch store. In a pandemic, I don't want to have to run it. Nobody in the band wants to have to deal with shipping all that stuff out. So they said they'd take care of it. And I'm like, okay, put it on your page, and then send us a check when the time comes. And they've been easy to work with too. Their guys really easy to work with and stuff, and just really, really in good communication with us. So we trust them to do it, and they've been great to work with too. So yeah, but you're right. It's not on our Bandcamp. It's on the Pro Rock Records Bandcamp. So
I don't know if this is humble bragging or not, but I'm drinking a Diet Dr. Pepper and cream soda, and this is the same day I learned there's a Dr. Pepper shortage. So I don't know if this is
really.
I don't know if I'm like
What?
Marie Antoinette, let them eat cake, but yeah, there's a Dr. Pepper shortage. So
is that a real thing? Because I've seen the boxes that say that, but then it just ends up being Diet Dr. Pepper. So it really is Diet Dr. Pepper and cream soda.
I will tell you, Jason,
mind blowing.
It's delightful.
I love all of those things. So I'm gonna try it. Yeah.
So talking about keeping busy, I know it sucks you guys can't play, but you are keeping busy. The video for Story and the Gaslight, I mean, that was, correct me if I'm wrong, it looks like you just gathered a bunch of old footage and put something together.
Fabian again, man. He's our guy for that stuff. He can speak to that.
Like I get a lot of free time down here, and I do everything. I got a little basement set up here, so I often run video and some audio stuff just to kill some time, because I mean that's what I have a bunch of right now. So yeah,
if we don't have that, we don't have anything. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, I got footage from all the guys. I had them send me everything, so just pulled up stuff that we've done recently and not so recently, from the studio to the tours to everything. So,
it's probably not the video you would have imagined if the world were different, but I thought it was a really nice expression of who you are as a band. I mean, it really conveyed your personalities.
Dumbasses.
Yeah, well, it's funny. I put this in the show description for tonight, but every time I see your name, not every time, but frequently I see you described as party punk band, the Runaround. Although the party's a little more political this time around.
That's well played. Ooh, we could like spin that, right? Like you thought it was party, but this is party.
The political party.
Yeah.
Well done, sir.
Thank
well
you.
Done.
Yeah,
I've done this before, Fabian.
Yeah, you need to be.
I can tell.
You're in the business of PR. Have you ever done any PR work? Because we need some of that. Yeah.
Well, let's start with the video for Bombs Away, which was done pre-pandemic. If there's one thing that's always been said about your band, you can't keep them away from the local high schools. And
that sounds horrible.
Okay. Well, it's nice talking to you.
So the video.
Whoa. Okay.
So the video was recorded at a high school.
Actually, this is even better. It was, and I can't say exactly where because the person that helped us out might get in trouble. It was actually, and if you think about the song, it was actually filmed at an armory, an army armory.
Oh, is that right?
At a gym in an armory, yeah.
It totally looked like a high school. I guess that was the intent.
It's a huge gym, yeah. It's a high school size gym, but it's a military armory, yeah.
Oh yeah, no, you don't want to get that person in trouble at all.
Nope. Can't go into more details than that. But
like of all the things to be court-martialed for, setting your favorite punk band up with a space to make a video in, probably.
But we love the romantic, the story behind that. So we thought it was beautiful. But yeah, that was completely opposite. That was Alex Zarek, who's obviously he's got his hands in everything. Right? Yeah, you can't beat him in the Chicagoland area. So we went from, a fully planned out video working with one of the, premier guys to like, hey, let's just, for the next video, let's just take a bunch of stuff we shot on our iPhones and throw it to our music and stuff.
I love it. And to me, Go Under is an obvious single. Like if you're going to go for another video, would that be the one off the EP?
I think Mario would agree with you. And we've had a few people tell us that recently. I don't think there was an obvious one to us. That song was written 2 weeks before we went to the studio. That was the last song written. We were still figuring it out, the day before as far as what we wanted to do, tempo, all that stuff. So I don't think we really ever had a time to be like, let that song sink in. And we have never played it live. We've never even, nobody has ever heard that song that, other than on the album. So we never were able to gauge the reaction on it, I guess, too. Bombs Away was, instantly popular and people singing along and stuff. It's very sing-along. But yeah, Go Under. I will say it's grown on me a lot, and I would tend to agree. It's probably to me it is the next obvious one too. But that's not just up to me. So
yeah, it's melodic. Pump your fist to it. And isn't history littered with examples of last-minute song creations that turned out to be something far beyond a musician or band's expectations?
Absolutely, yeah.
The ones that aren't overthought, the ones, oh, fuck it, we'll just give this a shot.
Throw this on there, yeah. There's a lot of them throughout history. That's a very good point. I don't know if we have a 6-song EP. How many singles are we supposed to release before it becomes every song is a single off of it? But.
Well, again, Jason, you have nothing but time.
You're right, and it's not. Yeah, we're not playing anytime soon, so we might as well start keep pushing the stuff off that EP.
All right. So Stretch, what's the cat's name?
That's George.
George. The cat's name is George.
Yep.
There's something kind of wonderful about people who give their pets people names.
Well, tell them the rest of your cat's names.
Well, then we have Elaine as well.
I see where this is going.
The Seinfeld cats.
Okay. Okay.
Yep. Those are my children.
The song Chicago, is that your London calling?
Oof. Whether we like it or not. As far as it being, there's a love-hate relationship with it. I think we'd all be okay if we never played it again.
Really?
I'd say that, but as soon as we're live and the energy that comes with that, you can't top that. I mean, we've been trying to close with other songs for the last 7 years, and it always comes back to being our closer, because once that song happens, everybody sings along to the end of it. It's like, really, are you going to play another song after that? It's for better or worse. But it's done a lot for us. It's definitely, I think it put us on the map in the area and stuff. So I can't, I guess I don't know. I guess we never really pictured it doing what it has done. But we obviously are happy with that. I don't know. Somebody else answer that, because we all have different opinions on this.
I love playing it live. It's fun.
So the guy's only been in the band for 2 years.
Yeah, that's why I have that opinion.
I just don't want to practice it.
That's
motor memories.
Stretch had the best answer. We just don't want to practice it. We'll play it live.
Practice
it.
I like the philosophy that some bands have. Every time you perform, someone's seeing you for the first time.
Oh, yeah.
And those people might be there because of Chicago. And the idea that maybe that's the hook that gets them in the door, but everything else will bring them back the next time.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So I think I get that it might grow weary of it, but it's
I'm kind of being
great impact
a little bit. Honestly, it's fun to play live because of the energy in the crowd, which is why it's not fun to practice, because there's no crowd, right?
Yeah.
So when we practice it, it's like, okay, here comes the part where I got to yell for 30 seconds straight, and my voice is dead tired by the end of it. But live, I don't feel it. It's that adrenaline stuff. So it's kind of like, yeah, it's just two very different scenarios. Practices, we hate it. Shows, we love it. So yeah.
Yes.
And I love your Chicago-ness. Chicago's mentioned in Story and the Gaslight. You wear your localness on your sleeve. Fabian's got the Chicago flag hanging there. Oh, there we go. We got the skyline in the background where Mario's place. Stretch has nothing, but he's got a cool cat. So that
Exactly.
Oh, he's got the Hawk shirt. Look at that. He's got the Hawk shirt.
There we go.
Coming through. So real quick, give us a little bit of a history lesson. You've been around for a long time as a band. You've lived through a recession. You're currently living through a pandemic. You've hit highs and lows.
Oh shit.
We're that old.
Damn.
Been around for a little bit.
Take it anymore.
Look what this did to me.
Who wants to give the Wikipedia summary of the run around?
Stretch, you give it, man. You're the other original member.
Well, you're 2005?
Six.
2006?
Maybe you shouldn't give it.
Down at ISU in Illinois State University in Bloomington Normal. And then we
all moved back home.
All moved back up north. And we've gone, the lineup has been crazy through the years, but I mean, we kind of have a nice little core here now.
Yeah,
yeah, go for it.
yeah, well, you're more than welcome to continue with it. But I would say that, we started you'll hear this reference in our music too, that we started in a basement, dungeon of a basement, 6-foot ceilings, stretches 6'4", so you can do the math there. Playing between the rafters so we could stand up straight and stuff. So, we like to reference those early, very humble beginnings and stuff in our music. 2014 was when Jeremy passed away. That was kind of a pivotal moment in the band, and we kind of had to decide whether we were going to push forward and in his name and stuff. And a lot of the songs off the last album, off of Reckless Ones, was with him in mind. And we released that album. It was cathartic, but we wanted to kind of get back to our roots in this last one, and having that high energy kind of fun mixed with a little bit of a bite, in our lyrics. And that's kind of always been our calling and stuff. And in this EP, I think we kind of got back to that. And the band's 14 years. It's, God, I can't believe it's been that long. And we've survived longer than most marriages do. And we're still having fun. I think as long as it's fun, we're going to do it. We don't have any crazy expectations of selling out major stadiums or anything like that. That doesn't really even exist in rock music anymore, at least not newer band. But we, as long as we still have friends that come out and people that support us and we have fun doing it, we're going to continue.
And people do support you. To mention Bombs Away one more time, so many people have watched that video. Yeah. I mean, not too shabby for an independent punk band.
Yeah, I don't know how it happened, man. If you're gonna ask that question next,
I'm not. I can answer it simply. I think good music finds a way. I mean, it could be something as simple as that. Word of mouth. Oh shit, you got to check out this video. It looks like it's in a high school, but it's not. It's the Armory. It's amazing.
I'll say this, and Fabian has some funny stories with this, but in the last maybe 3 to 4 weeks, we've had a really it's kind of taken off in Mexico. So the last
is that true?
The last 100 comments, I would say 80 of them are in Spanish. And then that Facebook has that translation thing, but it really doesn't work very well. So it's some funny weird translations that don't pan out. So I have to then go in and type into Google to see if I should say thank you or you suck too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, if you think about it, it makes a lot of sense for countries that are laughing at us right now to also enjoy the fact that we're kind of poking at our own system as well. That's the only thing that's the only reason I can even guess that there's that following. I didn't know that punk rock was big in Mexico, but Fabian gets 10 friend requests a day. So from people from Mexico,
so cool.
Right? Yeah.
So I'm do I know this guy? Am I related? No, I don't know. Does he look like me? No.
But that's the beauty of word of mouth. That's how the internet's supposed to work.
Yeah. So, it's been, I think we counted on 4 different continents. We've had people message us and comment or ask if they could play us on their podcast or something. I mean, all this is just so surreal to us, especially because we haven't been able to physically see it, the payout because we haven't played, so the last time we played Bombs Away, I think 30 people knew the song existed, and the fact that, that's obviously changed in the last 4 months, but we haven't played it live, is definitely kind of a weird feeling. And we don't really know, by the time this is over, are we going to go back to 30 people know us, or maybe 50 people know us by that?
This is the longest break from shows we've taken
in 14 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You said something interesting. Podcasts ask you to use your music.
Yeah.
And as the rights owners, you grant them permission to do that.
Yeah. Right. I just mean to play it like any other, a radio station or anything like that. Yeah.
Right, but it's so different, and this is the next level. This is the next hurdle for podcasters to jump, is being able to play music on the podcast, because it's a totally different set of rules. Because a podcast is a mechanical download, you're essentially giving content to your
Right.
subscribers.
Huh.
So
I
without,
never thought about that way, but you're 100. Yeah, that's crazy.
believe me, if I could play music all the time in a podcast, I'd be doing a straight up music podcast. I'd be doing all
Right.
kinds of stuff. But
Right,
yeah,
yeah.
that hurdle, and I have, like when I've had performances on the show, I've asked the bands, do I have your permission to use this? Because this will be on the internet. People will be able to download it.
Right.
That's like the next level. And that's why you don't hear a lot of music podcasts, because it's just
Right.
talking about music.
And never even I noticed that, but I never put that together. That's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it makes
totally
so much
different.
sense. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's copyrighted content. I don't have the right to give someone bombs away.
Yeah. Yeah. Please don't.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. All right. Well, I love you guys, and I hope that you get your wish granted of being able to play at some point, and that you're all healthy and you all stay
Yes.
well, and you're all good. Really nice of you to check in tonight. And
Yeah, man. Anytime.
and the high school
Hopefully,
thing, it looked like you were performing in a high school. I thought I was being
Oh,
clever.
of course, it totally does. It's a gymnasium like any other gymnasium, and we probably would prefer people to have thought that until we got far enough away from it, where the people that might have been like, "Hey, was that filmed here?" Or they're not thinking about it anymore. So.
Exactly. There's so much else to worry about right now. I want to thank everyone who's been watching on the Facebook and on YouTube and who's been listening. I'm going to stop the Facebook live stream